Welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is very powerful and very useful for everyone. We are going to talk about how reading affects your brain. Many people think reading is only for students or exams, but reading is much more than that. Reading is a workout for your brain. It slowly changes how your mind works, how you think, and how you understand the world. Let us start with the basics. When you read, your brain becomes active in many areas at the same time. Your eyes see the words, your brain understands the meaning, and your imagination creates pictures. All of this happens together. This makes reading one of the best exercises for the brain. The first major way reading affects your brain is by improving focus and attention. Today, many people struggle to focus. Mobile phones, short videos, and constant notifications train the brain to jump quickly from one thing to another. This weakens attention. Reading does the opposite. It teaches the brain to slow down. When you read a page, you stay with one idea for a longer time. Your brain learns patience. It learns how to follow thoughts step by step. This slowly improves your ability to concentrate. If you read daily, even for a short time, you will notice that your mind becomes calmer. You can sit longer without feeling restless. This improved focus helps not only in reading, but also in studying, working, and listening to people. The second important effect of reading is stronger thinking skills. Reading is not just about words, it is about ideas. When you read, your brain connects new information with old knowledge. This helps you understand things more deeply. For example, when you read a story, your brain thinks about characters, situations, and emotions. When you read nonfiction, your brain analyzes facts and explanations. This process strengthens your ability to think clearly. Reading also improves your ability to understand complex ideas. Over time, your brain becomes better at solving problems and making decisions. Another powerful effect of reading is mental calmness. When you read, your brain enters a focused and relaxed state. Stress slowly reduces. Reading gives your mind a break from worries and noise. This is why many people feel peaceful while reading. Even reading for 10 to 15 minutes a day can reduce mental stress. A calm brain works better and learns faster. Reading also builds discipline in the brain. When you make reading a habit, your brain learns consistency. You train yourself to show up daily and focus. This discipline helps in other areas of life as well. In this first part, remember this. Reading is not just learning information. It is training your brain to focus, think deeply, stay calm, and grow stronger. Part 2. Your brain works like a network. Inside your brain, there are billions of cells connected to each other. These connections become stronger when you use them. Reading is one of the best ways to strengthen these connections. When you read, your brain has to remember many things at the same time. It remembers words, meanings, ideas, characters, facts, and details. This process trains your memory. For example, when you read a story, your brain remembers who the characters are, what happened earlier, and how events are connected. When you read informational content, your brain remembers facts, explanations, and examples. All this memory work makes your brain sharper. The more you read, the better your brain becomes at storing and recalling information. Reading also improves long-term memory. When you read regularly, your brain learns how to organize information. It does not just store random facts. It connects new information with what you already know. These connections make memories stronger and easier to remember later. This is why people who read often find it easier to learn new skills, languages, or subjects. Their brain is already trained to remember and connect ideas. Another important benefit of reading is mental flexibility. Mental flexibility means the ability to think in different ways. When you read different types of content, such as stories, biographies, self-help, or educational material, your brain learns new perspectives. This makes your thinking more open and flexible. You become better at understanding different opinions and situations. Your brain becomes less rigid and more creative. Reading also helps your brain slow down and process information deeply. In fast digital content, information comes and goes quickly. The brain does not get time to process it. Reading gives your brain time to think, reflect, and understand. This deep processing creates stronger memories. Another powerful effect of reading is protecting brain health. Studies show that mentally active habits like reading help keep the brain healthy for a longer time. Reading keeps your brain engaged and active. This reduces mental decline as you grow older. Just like physical exercise keeps the body strong, reading keeps the brain strong. In this part, remember one key idea. Reading strengthens your memory by building strong brain connections. It trains your brain to remember, connect, and understand information deeply. Part 3. Language is processed directly by the brain. When you read, your brain is constantly learning new words, sentence structures, and expressions. This happens naturally, without pressure. The first big benefit is stronger vocabulary. When you read regularly, you see words again and again in different contexts. Your brain learns not just the meaning of words, but also how they are used in real sentences. This makes vocabulary stronger and more natural. You do not need to memorize words. Reading teaches your brain vocabulary automatically. Over time, you will notice that you understand English more easily. You will also start using better words while speaking and writing. Reading also improves sentence understanding. When you read, your brain learns how sentences are formed. It understands grammar naturally, without rules. This is similar to how children learn language. This is why people who read a lot usually speak and write more clearly. Their brain already knows how the language flows. Another powerful effect of reading is better communication skills. Reading exposes your brain to different ideas and ways of expressing thoughts. This helps you explain your own thoughts more clearly. You learn how to organize ideas and present them logically. Reading also improves listening and speaking because your brain becomes familiar with natural language patterns. Reading also builds confidence in language use. Many people feel nervous while speaking because they are not sure which words to use. Reading reduces this fear. The more you read, the more familiar the language becomes. Familiarity creates confidence. Another important point is improved comprehension. When you read regularly, your brain becomes better at understanding meaning quickly. You can understand conversations, articles, and videos more easily. This makes communication smoother. In this part, remember this. Reading trains your brain to understand language deeply and use it naturally. It is one of the best ways to improve communication without stress. Part 4. Now in this final part, we will understand how reading affects emotions, empathy, and overall mental health, and why reading is a lifelong habit for a healthy brain. Reading has a deep emotional effect on the brain. When you read stories, experiences, or real-life situations, your brain begins to feel what others feel. You understand emotions, struggles, and thoughts of different people. This develops empathy, which means the ability to understand others better. A brain that understands emotions becomes calmer and more balanced. Reading also helps reduce stress and anxiety. When you read, your brain enters a focused and relaxed state. Daily worries slowly move to the background. Even a few minutes of reading can slow down your thoughts and relax your nervous system. This is why reading before sleep helps many people rest better. A relaxed brain sleeps better. Another important benefit of reading is emotional strength. Books often show characters facing challenges, failures, and success. When your brain reads these experiences, it learns resilience. You understand that problems are a part of life and can be handled. This makes you mentally stronger and more patient. Reading also helps you understand yourself better. Sometimes, while reading, you find words that describe your own feelings. This helps you process emotions that you could not explain before. This self-understanding improves mental clarity. Most importantly, reading creates a healthy brain habit. Just like exercise keeps the body fit, reading keeps the brain active, sharp, and flexible. It slows mental decline and supports lifelong learning. Reading is not about how fast you read or how many books you finish. It is about consistency. Even 10 minutes a day can change how your brain works over time. In this final part, remember this key message. Reading shapes your brain quietly and powerfully. It improves how you think, feel, and understand the world. If you want a stronger brain, a calmer mind, and better communication, make reading a daily habit. Thank you for staying with us till the end. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to grow mentally. Reading is not just a skill. It is brain training for life.